Tolstoy set out to write a book which was about a fallen sinner woman and her righteous husband.
Sin has a price.
But as he wrote the book, he himself began to fall in love with Anna.
He thinks I can give you up and go on living.
That is at the very crux of the great novel and hopefully of the film as well.
Was it love?
Always.
I was still very nervous of tackling the book and knew that were we to do it, we needed a top-class screenplay. This would be wonderful, but only if Tom Stoppard will write the script.
You can't actually do a cinema film of Anna Karenina with all the bits and all the characters. So really what you're thinking is, can I write a page-turner of 130 pages out of these 600 pages?
What Tom so brilliantly did was reduce it to the essence of what Tolstoy was really on about, and that is an exploration of different aspects of love.
So finally, I just wrote a script. It took probably, the first draft took 2 or 3 months. He liked it a lot, and then we modified it in small ways until came the day where everything changed. He just began to think, God, I'm just following the path of so many other films before me.
There are a lot of locations in the script. So I go to locations in Russia and they say, yes, we have made 7 Anna Kareninas here. And you'd kind of go, oh, God. So I was wishing to myself that I could just set the film in one location.
Joe kind of phoned me up quietly one night and said, we're building a theatre, which was major, actually.
And the reason that he set this piece in the theatre is because you did have these people that were pretending to be something that they weren't all the time.
When he came in with it and we all got to hear of it, it just made everybody excited, creative. It energised everybody.
The first time I walked into the theatre was marvellous. I had only seen pictures.
What is the point in doing it safely? And what's the point of doing it if you're not totally challenged by it?
I think we've all felt that we've worried less about getting it wrong or getting a period detail wrong. It's terribly releasing being in this theatre set.
This is my oldest friend, Konstantin Dmitrievich Levin. Someone send word, I'll be a few minutes late.
I think it gives Joe more freedom, actually. He doesn't have rules by which he has to stick to, so it means he can be much freer as a filmmaker.
The skaters went across behind her, so if you're going behind, that would be lovely.
Every day there's a new set, and the sets metamorphosize in front of our eyes. As you leave the set, there's a new team coming in to shift it into a new environment. It's like a 24-hour factory, really.
They shut off elements of it, just with lighting or with walls or whatever, to create different spaces inside of it. And each one of them is completely unique.
The ones that are the big set pieces are kind of the easier ones to do. I mean, the ball really lends itself to the theatre space. Then we have the opera in the theatre space. So those ones kind of immediately felt very at home and at ease.
Each room, each world can stem off the same one sort of core, which is this theatre.
When we see the Oblonskys, who are in the prop room, that is their drawing room. When we see them in the dining room, which is a paint frame, it's their dining room. So once we're in and we know where we are absolutely believing that we are in this space and these things are happening within this space.
Who is he?
He's a rich, good-looking cavalry officer with nothing better to do than make love to pretty women.
But they don't acknowledge it as a theatre, except for the opening scene where Oblonsky's on the stage. So that's a kind of bit of a crossover moment there. We're working to this script, and we're not changing this script. We are still in the train, we're still going to Moscow, we're still going to St. Petersburg, it's still a ball. We're still in all these places, and this dialogue that he's written absolutely works. The hope is that you will be completely taken by the story and by the acting. That's the most important thing.
This was a brilliant notion. I felt that he'd pull it off, and I think he did pull it off.
A great director, in my opinion, is somebody who can convincingly create a world on screen that the audience will trust and believe in.
Aesthetically, this film is probably closer to my own kind of heritage, really, than anything I've made before. The puppet theatre that I grew up in was a kind of crazy, beautiful, handmade world, and that's what we tried to create with this film. The idea was the theatre was the whole world, and certainly when I was a kid, that's the way the puppet theatre felt.